Guys, so I did a share on Instagram, and it was a rager. It turned into a hardcore rager because in the last little bit I've had more clearings and kind of releases coming up around like surrender and the depth of surrender, and then also like how feelings. Oh yeah, because basically in the last like 2 to 4 days, I remember sharing a share with you guys where I confessed feeling this jealousy and this resentment toward a chica girl I barely know. Like, I've literally only met her in crossing, and like the way she was hopping and she looked fantastic, and I just felt this like, yeah, this sort of like resentment. Anyway, I like confessed it to you guys, and then I guess like what's coming through right now is like, gosh, my like all that honesty and like, you know, working through all this stuff, and then how I guess busting through the naiveness of assuming everyone else is, you know? Hey Eddie. So, and I guess it's like this next level awakening from my own naivety of like surrendering to a higher will at the age of 19, because I have no idea how to sort any of the world's problems out, and yet my intuition is telling me that there's a paradigm shift happening. And like, so I literally, like, instead of actually killing myself, decide to like have faith and trust in all of these things and carry on. Okay, and so I guess like what I'm honoring and feeling in the self is like owning the fact that we don't want what's best for each other, that we don't always want others to succeed, that we don't always feel happy with other people's successes, that we might say like, oh my god, that's so good, but we don't feel it. And I think for so many of us, there's been so much pain and sorrow and suffering and things being taken away, and just trying so hard to be good and to give and to share, and then just keep having things taken away, and then realizing so much that like, because if I can say, oh yeah, but be honest about the fact that I'm not feeling genuine happiness because all I am reminded of is my own failure and my own unworthiness, right? And then I'm here going like, come on, like I believe in myself and I can do this and I can break through and I can da-da-da-da-da-da. And then I'm hitting up against the fact of like more layers and veils being lifted around people, places, things, whatever, that I was lying to myself about. Like, they don't want, like, they don't necessarily want what's best for me. And that's, I guess, the shadow or the burst is that that's my own veil. To just stop people pleasing, i.e. stop making excuses for people. People are mean because they're in pain. I'm tired of making excuses for people's mean behavior. Oh, well, that's okay, they're in pain. Well, then they have to feel their pain and deal with it. But I am tired of, you know, denying that people act really mean towards us because they have feelings of jealousy, resentment, and blah, 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 and then they lie about it, and then people like me are the insane, crazy lady, or like, and I guess like, it's owning intuition, knowing around like, just the way like pack mentality, basically, the way people get together in their communities and just talk about you, you know, and like, they tear you down. And sometimes for a sensitive or highly empath, like, oh my god, it's just literally like, so just keep going. Just keep believing that people are gonna shift, that people care. You know, if I can address and access and share with you my jealousy, my resentment, and all that kind of stuff, then I express it, then I don't carry it with me, then I'll be like, I'm basically calling myself out, right? Calling myself out of the things that I've felt from other women and felt from other people, not just women. And here's the thing, I mean, we can focus as women on other women hating on each other, men and women alike. Men can be just as jealous of us for whatever reasons as women can. There's really no divide when it comes to this stuff. It's just energy. I have had men stare at me with the most evil eye that you can imagine because I'm talking too loud, or because they didn't get to dominate the conversation, you know? And they attack me for it. They tell me I'm too much. They tell me, and I'm just, this like all this emotion, this is just the norm. This isn't like me putting on a show for you guys. This is just the person I am, and I've always been. I feel emotion, and mostly people have told me to just be less sensitive, and I tried to be less sensitive, and it almost killed me. Like, for real. Whether I'm actually killing myself or putting myself in situations where people could kill me, then, you know, once you hit up against those sort of situations a few times, you're like, okay, okay. You know, I denied my intuition when I was 20 years old and I got gang raped. I denied my intuition for 6.5 years, and it ended up in an abortion and being poor, homeless, broke, and having absolutely nothing, you know? So no, this is the thing that way. I am not here to be told how I need to fix myself. There's nothing wrong with me for feeling this way. I breathe, I meditate, and I feel, and this is the polarity of feeling. There's nothing wrong, and I don't need anyone or anything telling me to calm the fuck down. That is all part of this fucked up system, is that we're all going around telling each other, and I cannot tolerate it. I can't tolerate it. I breathe. I'm calm. I'm just feeling a whole bunch. And my feelings are relevant to everybody else's feelings because everyone is trying to deny what they're fucking feeling. And it's a head fuck. And it isn't all straightforward. And it isn't all fucking logical. And nobody has the answers for anybody else. For anybody. Okay, I'm not pretending to have the answers for anybody. I'm sharing my life with you. And this is part of my life. I'm a fucking mystical woman who has surrendered her life force over and over and over again because I know damn well that this little fucking mind of mine can't figure out the issues of this world. But my heart, this heart of gold, it can. I can feel the truth. I can feel the way, you know? I can feel that we are moving, that we are shifting. And I don't blame anyone for all of this stuff that I'm feeling. I'm thankful. I'm thankful. Whether I was sharing this or not, this would be me. We have emotion, and unless we let ourselves to feel it and express it, and I don't care. I don't fucking care. That's the thing. Judge me. Judge me all you want. I don't fucking care. That way, honestly, I've already been triggered. I triggered myself. Don't give yourself that much fucking credit. Honestly. This is my life. I fucking coined the expression trigger. No, I didn't. That's my ego, for sure. But I get it. You didn't trigger me, sweetie. I was already triggered, honestly. And like us thinking, breathe, honey, sweetheart, calm down. Oh, fuck you. Shut up and go deal with your own fucking bullshit. Why? Because I'm dealing with my bullshit. This is it. This is me dealing with my bullshit. Guess what? I'm still carrying jealousy and resentment. Guess what? I'm still carrying a fucking hardcore hatred toward the system of oppression. Because it oppresses people and I fucking hate oppression. But I need to be able to fucking feel it! Because if I don't fucking feel it, what good am I? What good am I? That's great for you that way. I'm proud of you. I'm so happy for you. I've been through this multiple times. I don't believe that you go through it once and then you're fucking done and your life is a tidy, perfect bubble of love and light. I'm sorry. I hope one day I can get to where you are, triggerless and absolutely one pure bubble of breath. I look forward to that day. I really do, and I commend you. From the bottom of my heart, I appreciate your ability to hold space, but please, please don't give yourself the egoic gratification of, I triggered her, you know? Or you did. I don't really care. I'm not here in such a way to be fixed, okay? I'm not here in such a way to deny the fact that I am here in service to the whole, and if you don't like this service, then jog on. Go somewhere else and look for a channel that's gonna feed your ego just the way you want it to. Because I'm not here for your ego. I'm not here to serve it. I am only here to serve my heart. And I'm gonna be fucking selfish from here on out. I'm only gonna serve my heart and my feelings, and if I don't like how you feel, then you can go do some fucking work on how you feel about life and about yourself. And this is just my process. People think that this is some unique, special experience. I'm like, no, this is my process. This is what I go through every time I get triggered. This is what I face every time I'm going through cycles of peeling back layers and levels of control. I can feel the control. You know? I'm not like, people are like, oh God, you're feeling stuff. I'm like, yeah, this is why I wrote a book, because for 15 years, I was hiding in the shadows of humanity, everyone telling me that I should buy stuff and do this, and I was hiding in the shadows, crying and feeling to the depths of my own void and divinity. And sorry, but 20 years in, I'm almost a 40-year-old woman. I don't want and I don't need anyone to tell me what to do. If I want your advice, I'll fucking ask. Honestly, I've been practicing yoga and meditating for over 10 years now. I've been doing it as a professional and attracting people who are some of the wealthiest people in the world, executives, royalty. I don't need, and I'm not here as a means to please. And also, I'm not afraid of my emotions. So when people are like, ooh, breathe, ooh, calm down. No, you calm the fuck down and go get the fuck out of this channel. Because I'm not here to calm down for people. I'm here in service, and me feeling all this stuff is as much yours as it is mine, and you thinking otherwise is another big pile of fucking shit. Thank you. Because you choose to stay, don't you? You choose to stay, and I'm grateful. And I know in truth that you can see, and I'm thankful that way. I am. I'm thankful because I can feel. Lovely snots everywhere. And like, this is the stuff that's relevant to all the waves. And I guess I'm like tapping something, because this is where intuition comes in. I'm like tapping something, right? A purge. And for some reason, intuition is like, I have to share the purge. It's relevant to a lot of us. And even just having that way trigger me and then hold space and not just bounce because I'm not doing what they want me to do. You see that? I'm not not just doing what they want me to do, and like that's the enslavement wound. Most of us have just fucking been doing what we were told, and it was not good for our soul. And this is like the heat, you guys. This is like the heat of alchemy. I'm like hot, and I'm just like I'm sweaty and stinky, and this is the shadow. This is the shadow. This is what people don't want to do. And or not that this is about you that way, but people think they have like so this that I'm sharing with you, this is regular. Okay, I'm not joking when I say most days. Certainly premenstrual, definitely premenstrual, and then certain people, places, and things will be more likely to trigger these sort of sensations. But for women, it's maybe easier to track a cycle. You will notice certain themes, certain patterns coming up. So you can pretty much guarantee that at least once a month, if not more, this is going to happen. We call it a purge, a release, a transformation, a healing, an emotional transformation, whatever. All of it essentially is alchemy that's transforming our beingness. The reason I share is that I'm calling out control patterns within the self. Oh, you know, like the enslavement patterning within us is so deep and so painful, and it makes, ugh. It means we don't want the best for each other. We don't actually want each other to be happy. And I guess I'm just integrating that. I'm acknowledging that and integrating that because there's still areas of my life where I can see that I'm holding on to this idea that I just don't fucking deserve it. I'm a slave. You know, that I should just fucking sit down, shut up, and step in line. Nobody wants to hear it. Nobody cares. Nobody wants to make a change. But of course, I can believe that. Because most of us on this path, I'm like, I get to these dropping nothingness, and I'm like, I guess, especially if you've really, like, surrendered. Oh, really? Yeah, no, not at all. But, like, when you surrender at 19 and then 37, you're still following, but then following it into nothing, you're like, you're like, surely you haven't guided me to my death, or surely you haven't guided me just to re-enter the system, as it were. I'm like, surely not. Or go, or be, or return to being a slave. And I guess recently, some of the veils, I guess I'm feeling the pain of the slaves, but I'm also feeling of why sometimes it's important for us to step away from it. Oh, we're on the cusp. It's like the blind leading the blind, isn't it? Oops. Guys, that's disgusting. These are my snotty tissues, and I just rubbed my eye. Like, ew, disgustor. So yeah, this is just like my normal way of being, and I'm like, ugh. But I'm also aware that this is the atonement, this is the transformation, this is the new way of being, this is the, like, it does even out. I am better at this, it's not so intense, but they hit you up, and like, they're intense when they're intense, and they're good to go when they're good to go. Yeah. I feel you that way. I obviously needed to let that stuff come up. And here's the thing, like, even the people that unfollow, unsubscribe, or like they go out of their way to tell me that I fucked it and they never want to listen again, I'm just like, I love you, so it's all good. So like, I really mega appreciate, and I can fucking testify to the real ones, that if you trigger me and I start to fucking go off on one and you stick around, we're good. You know? Like, if I could just fucking feel and be and scream and shout, I still love you. I just need to fucking express, you know? But the real ones are the people who can fucking just hold it and not just abandon, you know? Not just run away and say, well, she fucked it, or she's losing the plot today. And I'm like, I'm fucking growing. I'm expanding. I'm transforming my guilt, my pain, my punishment, you know? I'm transforming it so that I can actually be the deservingness of the love that I've just shared and desired to see in the world. It's just humility and grace. It's the fact that we live in this weird world where everybody's like putting on masks, like pretending to be the opposite of this, but then everyone's like behind closed doors, like freaking out and like scavenging one another. And then we make examples, you know, for this. You know, I'm crazy, I'm irrational, and that's, there again, this is still clearly me healing the trauma. Yeah. This is me healing the trauma of it. This is me integrating a disempowered system where I'm angry and I'm crying. It's my own. It's my own. You know? That's what I write about. All this stuff I feel, I own it. It's my own. I for sure. I just don't think that anything is separate. You know, and I don't feel it to be. So nothing is ever in this isolated, disconnected situation. It's all this unified feeling field. Ugh. Yeah, and like this is the thing. I'm like sweating and and then, but we live in the glamour 3D reality where everyone's like, including me. Oh, my phone's there. I'm like, you know, I'm sure I probably shared some like, hi, come to Morocco with me. It's gonna be so special. You know, like and in fairness, that's kind of what my retreats are like. Like any yoga teacher or healer knows that when you start to get a release from someone, you're good to go. So usually my yoga retreats are just like bosh, bosh, bosh. Like every single yoga session, 3, 4, 5 people are just like, ah, oh, the release, you know? So YouTube has offered me a platform to release, to share, for healers to be able to hold space for me, because I know that you're all healers in your own right, and you're all new paradigm leaders in your own right. So you hold space for me, and then we all take turns holding space, and then we actually get to go to different parts of the land and that way, nice. Well, if anything, I feel that's really resonant with me. I think that's part of these last 2 leaps. It's that there's no control left. It's like the tipping point awareness. It's that the control is such an illusion that there's just no control left. So yeah, no shit. If you've dissolved the control patterns, pretty much everything you say or do will trigger people. But that's okay, because then you lead the way for more of us that will continue to trigger more people, but then we'll have our communities, and so... we won't be alone anymore, you know? Ooh, interesting, yeah. Ego is meant to embrace. Right, but the distorted ego, i.e. an ego that believes in separation, is trying to like control, manipulate everything, because everything destabilizes its sense of security because it's so unreal. It's so illusory. The aspect of ego that just helps us to be like, oh, this is me, this is you, this is our co-creative reality, you know, it just means that is, well, it's really just ego fused with heart space. Because then you can't lie. So fucking annoying. Although, I'm noticing that the divine sometimes guides us into doing things that surprise even ourselves when it comes to dealing with other people at this point. I have yet to understand exactly how it's unfolding, but it's more to do with the fact that I'm allowed to protect myself. Because oftentimes my honesty got me into trouble. So now it's just discernment. Now it's just discernment in as far as like how to move and support myself, and then just be a little bit more aware. And also, like, I don't need to say everything to everyone all the time. You know, just like this share for me was fucking perfect. I really, really needed this, and I'm so thankful for all of you, but like, I don't know if I can keep it live. Like, yeah, we'll feel it out, you know, I'll feel it out. I just sometimes get that all these feels is just normal. Like, there's nothing wrong with me for feeling this way. At the same time, like, I think atonement takes us to the new level. So I do feel that we're in culmination. I do feel like me expressing this now is actually quite an accumulative like surrender point. It's done. We're done. We're doing it. We get it. We know. We're there. We're here. It's, you know, like, and this clearing is just me finally saying goodbye. Like, goodbye to the old ways. Goodbye to control. Goodbye to thinking I know. Goodbye to, like, oh god, I guess it's some people that I'm saying goodbye to too, you know. But remember, we're only ever letting go of the fantasy. That's why it's painful. It was never real. That's part of why it's painful. It was an illusion all along. And my little inner child is a bit like, oh god. You know, like, that basically, those abuse patterns and all that shit was happening all along. I just denied it. I denied that there were people in my life who were manipulating me and controlling me, and that there were plenty of people in my life who genuinely did not really want me to be happy. My happiness triggered them, and other people's happinesses generally trigger them, so they don't like other happy people around them. And if you're one of them and you get happy, you better watch out. Because here's the thing about manifestation and manipulation. If people are gossiping about you, if people think negative thoughts about you, if people sit around and talk negative about you, when you're around their energy, it's gonna feel bad. You're gonna feel like you don't want to be there. You're gonna feel oppressed. Like, literally, like walls are closing in on you. You know, and us pretending like we're not feeling that stuff when we're in circles of people and circle of friends is what all this stuff is for you guys and for myself, is saying enough. Enough. I know how this realm is operating, and I know the difference, and I know how I feel, and I know how people can lie. And I'm just over it. I'm over denying myself to justify people's bullshit fucking talk when they're not walking their talk, and yet they feel justified in making sure people like you and me stay off our path or make it damn difficult. You know, people who pull the rug out from under us, people who gossip about us, they're not good for us, and they're not healthy for us. See, and I'm just getting like a wave of relief and power of being like, oh my god, I'm free. Like, I can just fucking walk away. Walk away. Making excuses for people. God. No, Molly. You never... You know? Woo! Yeah. And there's another thing, I guess, stuff that triggers me is hierarchical language. So even in our spiritual communities, the language of like the reaching for, like, basically you're not enough, so you can reach for more, strive more, success more, better more, fitness more. And I'm like, no, we shouldn't be seeking more, because we are naturally more. We are naturally eternal, exponentially growing beings. It's like trying for more is actually like negating the self. It's actually like denying the truth of our beingness. Us trying to achieve. I'm like, wait, what are you running away from? Who are you running away from? We in the beingness that we are the pure genius and the all-knowingness. So why are we all trying to pretend we're trying to get the knowingness out there? what next course, what except to Dubai stuff, but then I don't care. I'm like, whatever, manifestation, divine, bring it. Bring it, you know? It's like I don't want for nothing. So at this point in the game, just bring it what you got. Bring it what you got. Yeah, Rebel. Am I okay? Yeah, for sure. I'm great. I do love, though, the tears have been coming. Yes, Rebel, do not ask that. The tears have been coming, like, really, like, I told this in a share the other day. I'm like, it's like the chemistry or the nature of the tears has, what not to say, are you okay? It's like, but isn't that beautiful? I love this community so much. Miss you, Revelator. I love how we're all friends here. Oh, guys, I've got another potential retreat space here in the UK as well. And a friend who's getting moves in Montana, and another friend in Montana, Amanda Susanna, who's here sometimes as well. Yeah, man. Revs, I'm good. This is the thing. I'm good. I'm good. You know? This is one of those days. It's been a while. I do this from time to time. I randomly get guided to share something online, but I'm in a storm. But for some reason, intuition is clearly guiding me to express the storm, again, as a means to just be like, this is the process. It's not out there. It's here now, processing the feels, especially when they get uncomfortable, because the discomfort is usually linked in some fashion to our control patterns, i.e. trauma wound, i.e. separation wound. Makes sense in my mind. It makes sense in my heart as well, because I know how diligently I've been working on transforming some suffering. You know, and I know the suffering that I felt in my body, and so I'm like, I know, and I'm not afraid. You know, I think that's the thing. I'm not afraid of letting it go. And the expressing it here is because it's like having a direct, like, reflection of this is the healing. This is the processing. There's nothing shameful or wrong for feeling all of this, you know? And I think that's the ish, is that people, and especially this, you guys, and I've said this before, and I'll probably say it again, but across the board, in our world, in our culture, when you see a human like this, what do you say? What do you think? What's wrong? Which right there, that is enough of a message to make all of us feel like we are wrong when we feel like this. And some of the biggest transformation I had was to fucking give myself the biggest hug ever. And to be like, oh my God, I love you. this, like all this. I love you. There's nothing wrong with you. You know, there's nothing wrong with you. Yeah, right? Something's being released. And this is sometimes the case. I'm like, obviously, like, there's embarrassment and just like, oh God, like, why is this the life I've chosen kind of thing? But in the past, when I am guided to share these emotional releases, there's like a collective release, if that makes sense. So like, it's relevant to a portion of the whatever, you know, as in realz. And oftentimes when it's a genuine release, like, you guys can have some release as well. I don't know. It's all just reflections. And choosing, like, beauty, love, art, consciousness as the reflection versus, like, shitty, complaining, low vibration, toxicity, emotional manipulation. Versus just genuine human fucking compassion of, like, what is laugh? And, like, just so many of us. Like, I'm just this such random chica who feels so deep all the time, and then wrote a book about it. Like, not writing a book about how you can manifest your dream life, living simply a book about the fearlessness that is within us all. And me being fearless is me going, Rah! See, I feel stuff, and I'm not afraid to feel stuff. And yeah, I'm a yoga teacher and a meditation teacher. That doesn't mean I'm supposed to talk like this all the time. Oh, I'm a yoga teacher, I don't feel feelings. Oh, I'm a spiritual teacher, I don't feel feelings. I've transcended all feelings ever, always, because one time I did an emotional healing course. Maybe that is how it is for some people, I don't know. But here, as I do it like that, here's the weird thing, right? The weirdest thing is that I'm like, I don't want it to go away. Maybe I'm shooting myself in the foot. I like feeling. I like crying deeply. I like feeling compassion for the world, you know? I don't wanna run away. Emily, I know, I feel you. So, Emily is someone else. Like, the moment I saw her and then watched a video, I'm like, same vibes. Like, I just feel the pure heart love vibrashe, basically. Sometimes as well, there's like this little sparkle in the mystic's eye. You know? Epic hugs. Epic hugs for all of you guys. Yeah, right? I just don't want to deny, because I don't think that serves the whole. And I'm not, like, afraid, I guess, right? I'm just like, I'm just literally like a broken human being who's just bottomed out on all her shame and guilt and was like, fuck it. I might as well just be fucking selfish. Because I spent the last 37 years trying real hard to please everybody, make everybody else's life happy, and it didn't work. So, been there, done that. Now I'm just gonna make myself happy and hope for the best. You know? Because what I realized is, like, the majority of people who are, like, who don't understand what we talk about here, like, those people, as, like, lovely as they are or whatever, they don't care the same way I care, necessarily. And those people mostly just focus on themselves. So I'm going to take their cue and trust that I'm in service fully, no matter what, in this heart, love, vibration of compassion, but really just to focus on myself and focus on my personal little happiness, because other people, that's what they do. And they seem to get by well in the world. So I is like, okay, now it's my time. I'm just gonna focus on my own happiness. And here's the weird thing, you guys. Like, even though I've pretty much been raging and crying this whole almost 40 minutes, I am happy for it. Like, I'm fucking blessed that this is the work that I get to do. That I get to work with, like, I hate this expression, soulmate clients, but they are, because I love them, and they're like my sisterhood and brotherhood. But I get to work with amazing people, get paid really well because I choose my pay, and be free. I'm like, what has actually happened? And anyone can do that for themselves. You know, anyone can do that for themselves, but it's not just about happy thoughts. You know? And this is why it works, because even though it might look like I'm in rage and I'm in pain and oh my god, we gotta fix it, I'm like, no. This is part of the process. I'm like embracing it, i.e. sharing it, because I'm not afraid of it, and I'm a little bit unashamed and unapologetic about it, because I'm aware that if I've been doing yoga since I was 13 and I've been meditating and doing all this stuff for a really long time, then people who have never done it, then this shit's gonna hit them hard too. And the whole of humanity is gonna have to go through the atonement process, but people in mass are gonna be able to shift through it quicker and quicker, because people like us are holding space. And we're all holding space for each other. I kid you not. You guys being here, just you guys being here is helping me heal. Just you guys showing up on the other side of the internet gave me faith at a time where I almost had none left. And you keep showing up, and you keep reflecting back the faith that I know deep, deep down in my heart, but has been invisible. It's been invisible for almost 20 years, and I've just been this weird, weird person in the world, you know? And now there's just like these few people on the other side of the stream going like, yeah, we get it. And I'm like, oh my God, thank God. You know, thank God. Thank God. I'm not going insane. I'm not a crazy lady. And like, I'm safe to feel. Because I'm like, I can't not, and I don't want to shut it off. It's like I'm not going to stop myself from burping and farting. Why would I stop myself from crying? Oh, look at how gorgeous it is. The tears. I'm like, I think people are gorgeous when they cry. I mean, except when you're like, but then when you actually like look at the like, oh hey Roots, how are you, Maz? Welcome. Welcome. Like imagine someone like Deepak, or imagine someone like Vishen, or imagine like being this broken and raw. Or wait, maybe they've risen up and never feel these shitty feelings anymore. I don't know. I'll wait and see. But there again, that's my weird polarity. I'm like, I don't want to not feel. As long as there's oppression and pain and ugliness on this planet, I'm gonna feel it. And so is every other fucking sensitive, so we might as well keep feeling it until until we rise out of it. Until we become the Christ, which it's all one. It's all here now. Bah! Really need to get me a cloth. I actually have a tissue cloth in my car because this is so wasteful. I have not only been crying and raging the whole time, but I've also been wasting tissue. Trees. I love Divine Sight. I know, that literally one storm. One morning. This is part like one of my clients who's like, what the fuck, MJ? Like, I was bawling my eyes out this morning, and now I'm, like, happier than I've ever been in my whole life. I'm like, welcome. Welcome to new paradigm. Being an adult, but with this childlike, innocent curiosity. But also, present moment means we feel the impact of our present moment creation in the here now. It's not a backlog, right? That's why we're stepping out of these abusive karmic cycles, because we all had to learn about energy. Energy in human form and how it works, because it got all fucked up for sure. It got all corrupted. We denied the self, and then it weren't a good idea, but we tried it. We did there, been there, done that. Now we're healing fully. Okay, we're healing fully, becoming beings of light. In fairness, like, this is an actual light. I'm not actually that shiny, people. Look. Don't worry. I didn't actually make myself cry. I'm like, whatever. Yeah, we are done, Emily. I know, and this is the thing about the continual showing up in the expression. I'm like, you do know this. Like, we are done. It is done. I'm not getting much more guidance than that, other than I need to actually just accept the void now. I have to accept complete unknown, hanging around in the infinite void, and that something's coming in. You know? Because in some ways, there's still this very, like, what is happening, right? Shiny, happy people, happy, shiny, happy people need help. In fairness, I think that we're that. We're the REM. What's his name? Mike something? Stein? Mike Stein or whatever. A lot of us would have grown up with that. Shiny, happy people, happy, shiny, happy. Because I do too, and I fucking love it. And I'm like, we're the shiny, happy people! For Rizzles, we have the potential. Michael Stipes. Thank you, thank you. A bit of a ledge. Right? Isn't Michael Stipes like a bit of a us preaching. I mean, in fairness, a lot of that ilk are, a lot of the people have reached that, but are still contained. They're not part of the grid, if that makes sense. Like, they're not part of the agenda. They're actually, via pure talent and heart, love, vibrashe, managed to kind of get their music, the message out there, right? See, I can feel it. The feminine wound, having her love rejected and turned against her. And I gotta say, that's really weird because I don't feel this. This is just the impact of it, but the truth of it is real. I'm gonna do Losing My Religion. That's another song, isn't it? You can relate, of course, Rebel. That's the thing, is like, it's the same for all of us. We've all been disconnected and brutalized by ourselves and one another. So, so yeah, it's just that, like, we're just having to come back to ourselves, which is us just healing ourselves, right? But we are free to love again. Yeah. I just never thought that, 10 years ago or whatever it was, that I'm like, right, yeah, I'm really gonna love myself, whatever. I never thought that this is what it would look like. And I never thought manifestation would be so fucking deep. I thought I'd be transformed and rich and frolicking free by now, for sure. I didn't think I'd have to, like, retrace back my entire fucking cosmic timeline to try to be here now and then constantly be like, I'm like, fucking gee whiz. Gee whiz, my friends. And yet to get to a point where I'm not even trying to run away from the process. I'm like, this is just the process and I love you all. Yeah, I really truly feel that we are free. I feel this freedom is like just the legit awesomeness, right? Hey, Chels. Get her a handkerchief, everybody. I know, well, it's more like, but then also I'm like, after a while, because I'm like, this is like one big tish that's been all like gobbledygooked up in my snot. And then I'm like, it's like, what if you only have like one tissue? I'd need multiple tissues and I'd be doing laundry per patch. Anyway, you guys, I got to say, sometimes the shortening of the words is like getting insane, where some words, like, they don't short form properly, but I'm still trying. I did a short form and somebody was like, I was like, no, it didn't work. So there you go. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to All to Love TV. I'm MJ, I'm your host, and I'm a highly sensitive empath. And for those of you who resonate with empathy, you'll notice that this crying fit, I call it the emotional storm. It usually comes after a lovely trigger, and then a wave, and then you be storming. And the important thing of transformation is that you own it all as your own, so that you can become more responsible, so that you have more pulling power to manifest the dream of life, which hopefully, certainly from my point of view, my dream is the one of all, which is a happier, healthier, more loving humanity. Right. So divine sight, and this is the way I'm seeing how we interweave the fact that we are always manifesting our perspective, right? The thing I noticed along my path was the deeper I go, so the deeper we go, the higher we level up, right? And then there's always going to be like a shape shift of our reality, as in the more expansive we become, in essence, the more aligned with the truth we become. But then the more aligned in the truth we become, the more rare is our pulling in point, especially with people. And this has to do with something to do with like the teacher of God or whatever. Yeah, and the pendulum swing. And then the deeper I go, for sure, the experiences become more intense. Yeah, I think that has to do with our sensitivity. And this is where when we merge in with collectives, it starts to get easier. It's in a way getting easier, but yeah, it doesn't make it less intense. It's like the idea of all the spirituality stuff making us void of challenge. I'm like, no, it's not about escaping challenge. It's not about running off into some fantasy la land. It's actually about just having a perspective which allows us to face every fucking challenge that comes along without fear, without going, oh my god, that's a challenge. Ooh, I don't want to have to do that. Right? No, it's like going, yeah, bring it on, bring it on, bring it on. You know, so that we become valuable human beings rather than entitled human beings. And I think that's, for me, sometimes a big piece, because it's, I don't tolerate that. I find it very difficult to tolerate. And why is it still a challenge for me? Because that is my piece as well. That's my upbringing. There's a part of that in my upbringing of entitlement, of privilege, and of stepping on the shoulders of the men and women who work damn hard to get us to this point of privilege, right? So all we can do is like own it as best we can, totally, and then be that in any given moment, which is just being nice to people, mostly. And or walking away when somebody's being, or when someone's lying, right? Like, truth is stranger than fiction. Right. Like, 100%. Right, yeah. Because isn't that... I'm like, this life is fucking weird, yo. Like, and it's only getting more wild and more weird and more beyond my mind, and I'm just like, you know? And I'm like, right. I forget sometimes that there was like this conventional story that we were all meant to fit into. Fiction, right? Fiction is like the fantasy stuff, right? Non-fiction is truth. But it's like the other way around, weirdly. It's all flipped. I'm like, yeah, life is wild. But it's not wild in some weird extreme sense. As in, we don't need to necessarily go on all these crazy worldly adventures to feel the wildness of our own being, of our own aliveness. Water rays, storms, y'all. Think about being in the middle of an ocean, in the middle of a storm. That's sometimes what feeling all this stuff is like. Totally. Divine sight, I get that too, right? Oh, I appreciate that. Because I always question myself. And I do talk about this in the book. I'm not wallowing in my pain. I'm not going, oh my god, I'm so unique and special for feeling all of this. But no, I'm like... I just embrace it and then move through it. And that's a practice that I share in the Fearless Life Guide, is like, you feel a trigger, wave, storm, almost as quickly as you can possibly do it, detach from your thought stream. That's where I've been calling out all my programming, is like, when you feel your emotions, you start to notice the shitty thoughts attached to it, which are just fucking divisive and blame and attack worthy. You know, we're either defending our righteousness or attacking somebody else's wrongdoing without taking any responsibility for the fact that we've attracted it into our life. And or are creating that as a pattern. Oh, massive, massive. I've just looked down at Bridget saying, bless us all. Bless us all. Like, that's all it is, honestly. Bless us all. Love us all. May we all find the light, the truth, and the way. May we all have all our dreams come true. And that's all there is, you know? That's all there is. That's all there is, you know? You just are learning how. Yeah, I feel that. At least we've manifested each other to soundboard it. Because as we know, there's no exacting formula, because it's you. Sorry, guys. I'm like, ha! No one's gonna fucking figure it out for you. You're gonna have to do it. Just me, too. Right? So I'm winding it down. This is a lot. I've done a lot of sharing today. All right, I'm done listening. I'm done talking. I'm so mega grateful for all of you. You bless my world. You really do. I love you. I'm thankful for all of you, and I'm wishing you a glorious, glorious day. Heart, love, vibe.